All right, all right. What is up, guys? It's gonna be a quick one today. Not feeling it. Got this flu pretty bad, pretty bad. Woke up with a sore throat. I hope nobody out there has to go through this. Let me adjust my mic a little bit. Sorry about that. Just kind of want to review some context, talk about Bitcoin, talk about trades that are coming, talk about trades that I did take. I did take this trade. Actually, let me back out a little bit and I'm going to guide you through this trade. So we're still trading in just this sideways chop, right? This sideways chop. So let me rewind. When we first start a video, really what we're doing is we're reviewing context. So we're asking ourselves, what are we moving away from, right? What are we moving towards? What are we moving away from? Are there any patterns that are playing out? Is there anything that we are waiting for to see? Like, just basically, what has happened since we last visited the charts and what are we expecting? The purpose of a good analysis is to be prepared to make a decision. So, the purpose of these sessions is to identify areas where we need to make a decision. The whole purpose of this channel is to identify areas where we're going to make a decision. We can also fine tune of what the decision is that we're looking for. Like, for example, if we have a bunch of equal highs here with a level of resistance above those highs, then we can safely assume that the decision area where we're going to have to make a decision is going to be somewhere in here. And we can also say that because this is untapped liquidity, because it's a bunch of equal highs, then the highest probability that we're looking for is the SFP, right? If there's a big level above this with a lot of confluence, then we say to ourselves, okay, well, there is also a high likelihood that we would take that liquidity and tap that level. So then we could say we might be looking for something, a trade like we would come up, tap that level, and the minute we become below these highs, we would engage in a trade if the conditions are right. So the whole point of this channel is to give you a head start in the competition so you don't have to be staring at the charts, entering in too early, or entering with confusion. So I'm going to take you through how I took a trade right here. Basically, I just identified a daily level, and I'm going to show it to you now. That daily level was this. So right there, we saw we came down with a red candle, and then we came up with a green candle. This red candle was not there yet. So as you can see, this was telling us that there was a daily support level here. A candle is just showing you value. So where you have two equal lows, in the stock market, it can get a little bit different because there's trading off hours. So crypto runs 24 hours a day. So you're always going to have these equal lows where one day ends, the next day begins. You're always going to have these equal lows. This is why it's very, very, very good to trade Bitcoin because it just gives you such better signs. For the novice trader, I would highly suggest mastering trading Bitcoin because it's just, I'm not saying it's easier, but it is easier. Yeah, so I identify that level, and there wasn't much confluence at that level. I mean, maybe you could say that there was a Fibonacci level there if we went from the low to the high. Nope, not really. There was no Fibonacci level there. So it was what I classify as a weak level because there wasn't a lot of confluence. So then what happened was I come down here, and on the 30-minute chart, I saw that we came down, and then I got an alert. The alert told me it's time to make a decision. So what I did was I went to ExoCharts, and I'm going to show you what aided me in my decision process. I'm going to go right here to this chart here, and I'm going to refresh this a little bit. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at order flow. I'm going to go to the 5-minute, and I'm going to take the candles to imbalances, And I'm going to look at the Delta cluster candles. So I need to find that low. And that low was right there. There's that low. Now, when we made this low, you can see we had an open interest increase and it had positive delta, right? Green, green. So people were longing this. Then we came down for another low and we had another open interest increase with a delta divergence. See, price was going down, open interest was going up, CVD was going up, but on the biggest open interest increase at the bottom, we saw a big increase and negative delta. The minute that we went up, you can see that we are followed up by open interest increase with positive delta. So this is what I like to call a playbook trade. When I hit a level and we trap traders with the open interest increase, with the open interest increase, and then we get above the level of reference, for me, that is an automatic trade because we tap the level and the conditions of tapping that level showed that people were caught off sides. And then since from there, we just squeezed them out. So what did we do? We went from a daily level right to another daily level. This was the only trade that I took. Daily to daily. That's it. That's why we identify these levels, because they can be so absolutely hammer on, just specific, right? This was a beautiful trade. It was a nice, I did this trade 10X. I caught it early, probably about right here, right on the reentry. So it was a 10%. It was a 10% win. It was a small trade because it was the holidays, but I just want to give you a little bit of idea of how this channel can be useful, what we're doing here and how to use it. So this whole process is really about making your decision, helping you find your levels where you have to make a decision, setting alert, and then going about your life. And then when you get that alert, whether it's an email or whether it's anything, you can just look and say, are the conditions right for me to make a decision? Because really removing your emotions, like where's price going to go? Where's it? No. Here we had everything we needed for a good trade. We had an invalidation. We had a level of reference. We had trapped traders and we had a target. And that was it. I mean, I saw it, trapped traders. I entered the trade. I put my stop loss. I knew where my take profit was. And I left the house, and when I came back, that trade had played out. They're not always going to play out. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but this is where your edge lives. This analysis that I'm doing here is giving you your edge, and your edge is a system that identifies areas where you're waiting for a reaction, a decision zone. And then when that alert goes off, you really just follow the ABCs of it. I mean, there's going to be some intuition that needs to go into it, but really it's just about making the decision easier for you, right? Because when that alert goes off, really it's, do I take a trade or not? And with this system and this checklist, you can really, it takes the pressure off of you. Hey, my alert went off. Is it a good condition to take a trade? Is there trap traders? Was there an SFP? Did we, do I have a target? Do I have an invalidation? Did I miss the trade? That's going to be one of the benefits of this channel. And I tell you, we're going to do this over and over and over again all year for 1 year. All right. So yeah, so basically we're still just trailing sideways. We do have the higher range value area low beneath us. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit and just give you an idea of what this looks like. So as you can see here, here is our entire upper range. We've been going sideways in this range since November 2024. And here we are in 2026. And we are still fighting to get back into the value area. If we reclaim this value area, there are some small levels. There's one last level of resistance here at 92,375. I would highly suggest you set an alert at 92,375. This area is a bigger harmonic pattern that still could be playing, right? This could be playing out. And I would say that if this did play out, perhaps we would be looking at this on Monday, January 5th, right? I would be looking for that to play out on Monday. I don't think it's going to happen on the weekend. I think we get up there by Monday. This is using Fibonacci time, just measuring the top of the top to the bottom of this entire move to the downside, right? All you do is you take your Fibonacci, you start it here, you end it there. That's 2 clicks. And then you get a 1-to-1 extension, which the 1-to-1 extension is right around here, Tuesday or Monday. So that's that. Now, really, I mean, I can tell you like this, nothing has really changed. So we're just going to go through this real quick. We're going to go to the daily time frame, introduce our daily levels. And as you can see, both of these dailies are tapped. We do have a new daily level here. And this daily level is tapped here. So we do have some daily support there. Now we're going to get in, we're going to look at some naked levels. And I can see here that we do have a new naked daily point of control right there at 8875. Sorry, I like to write these down. I'm old school. I like to write shit down. All right. 887775. That's a naked daily. And we can see here we did open outside of value. So we do have the 80% trade on deck. See if we got any new weeklies. We do not, because we don't have a new week yet, and we're not going to have any new monthlies. Let's go here and see if we have any tells on the order flow chart. And I'm seeing here that we do have some bullish divergences, right? As you can see here, CVD, we have a low, a higher low, and a lower low with lots of shorts. So what am I thinking here? I'm thinking we did just flip this VWAP, but the price is going up and there is tons of shorts coming up in the mix and there's tons of selling. So there's some kind of secret force that's overpowering all of this. I don't know when it's going to let go or when it's going to finish. I would suspect a level of liquidity above us. We will look for that. So this is something you want to look for, right? Because you can see here, open interest up, open interest up, open interest up. But Delta is negative 7 million, negative 4 million, negative 4 million. So as you can see here, shorts are opening here. CVD is selling off, shorts are opening, but the price is still continuing to go up. Now, this might just do a little SFP of this high and then drop. Never know. But just know that. Previous day profile. The previous day profile can give us a great indication of what type of day it's going to be, right? You can see here that we had a nice D-shaped profile with unfinished business at the low. We do have an SFP and we did take value. We opened up outside of value. We will continue to build value to the upside, or if we get sucked into this previous value, then we would expect that price would make the cycle of this value area. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to you, right? So here we go. Here's Thursday. The markets weren't in. We've got finished business, not really much finished business. I like to see 5 or more of these little single prints for a real finished business profile. Okay, so now we're going to go back here and we're going to put this naked point of control there. I'm going to clone this one and double click. And this is going to be 88,775. Let me just double check that real quick. $87775, not 88775. All right. Okay. So Next two key decision points I will be looking at in the next 24 hours are going to be so as we can see here that we are pushing up. I am going to be looking for the short right here. I'm looking for an SFP in that area, maybe a little back pull back into this area, right? I'm going to be, check this out. I'm going to add an alert here saying, and simply all I want to tell myself here is to look for entry trigger, right? And it's the same. It's always going to be the same, right? I just want to tell myself price is pulling back into a level of support. This is a decision zone. That's it. So I'll be looking for these two, right? I'll be looking for this one up here. And if I took this one, my target would be lower, right? My target would be the sweep of the lows for that harmonic to play out. But if we get up here, before we tap there, this would be a take profit one because there is a level of support here. And it is the same level. If I have a naked daily point of control with the daily support level, I would expect that to go to the next naked daily point of control and a support level. So one thing that we want to do is we want to look at the symmetry of it. So now we just kind of want to zoom out a little bit and just kind of look at up and this is freezing up. We want to look at the symmetry of that, right? And this kind of fits the role of higher highs and higher lows. And maybe that's what we need to break through to come on up here for our bigger trade up here for a sweep of these highs and the range point of control. So nothing has really changed, guys. My decision zones right now are right here, 92.2. I'm looking for the long here at 87.5. And I'm looking for the bigger short here at 96. I also want to bring in here and look at the VWAP resistance that's coming down. So yeah, so this is kind of playing out. This might be something interesting. Come on up here, right? Take out these highs, tap this VWAP, right? And then make our way down for the bigger dump. So yeah, longs, shorts, these are the areas that I'm looking at. I'm super sick tonight, so I'm going to take some NyQuil and get to rest, get some rest. I'm even stuttering my words. I can't even talk. So these are the levels that I'm looking at. We will review these levels and I will show you how to gauge the reactions. This is an educational channel and it also is also a trading channel. So I am actively trading these levels. And I'll be here for 1 year showing you these levels where you need to make a decision, how to make a decision, what factors to look at, what's importantly, and most important is we will be looking at what is not important, right? This isn't a channel where you just go and learn of what to do. This is a channel where you can go and learn what not to do, right? What you're doing might be useless. And that was a big part of trading for me. What is useful and what is useless? And letting go of what is useless can very much help your trading. But I'm going to say one of the biggest mistakes that people are making trading is they're doing too much. They've got too many levels that don't matter. They're taking in too much information that doesn't matter. They're not giving themselves a bullish and a bearish scenario. They just don't have the ability just to set an alert, not stare at the charts and just say, hey, when that alert goes off, a decision needs to be made and I need to make a system that just gives me a yes or a no. And this is the channel for you if you are having trouble with that. You don't need any special hoodoo or this or that or too much information. All we need to do is identify these decision areas and then guide you through on how to make a decision. All right, guys, that's about it for this time. I'm going to wrap it up and hopefully you had a good holiday. Here we are, 2026. Let's crush it. I'm going to crush it in 2026 through persistence and consistency and just showing up here day in, day out, all in, all out for you. I'll see you next time.